Hey, y'all, it's Friday. You know what that means. News of the week, news of the week, news of the week. Whoa! Okay, so here we go. I've got really lots of good stuff coming up. Okay, happy stuff. But let me just do this one little piece of crap first. This week, y'all remember when President Trump tore down the West Wing to put up a ballroom and said it was completely paid for by private donations of $400 million. And then we had that assassination attempt. And then the ballroom became really much more important. Well, this week, the Senate Republicans asked for $1 billion of our tax money be attached to the immigration bill that they are presently debating in Congress. Now, I don't know what rubber chicken dinners have to do with immigration or how we went from $400 million that was completely paid for by private donations to $1 billion that we're paying for. I don't know. One of those things that Arsenio Hall used to say, it's just one of those things that makes you say, Okay, let's get to some better stuff. I think this week, Marco Rubio, without a doubt, became the front runner for the GOP nominee for President of the United States. I'm okay with that. Whatever. I like him better than J.D. Vance. So, between the two, give me Marco. All right. Today is May 8th. 36 years ago today, my favorite woman on the entire planet made her entry into the world, and for the first time made me an uncle, or as we say, a gunkle. Chelsea Lee Rumsey Cohey, happy birthday. Okay, this past Saturday was the Kentucky Derby. Did y'all watch it? If you haven't watched it, find some way and go watch it. Right? There were all kinds of stories leading up to it. One of the guys who everybody really was hoping would win, it was his first time at the Kentucky Derby, and his wife had just died 2 months ago unexpectedly. And, it was one of those things, I hope he wins. Well, he didn't. However, the horse Golden Tempo won the race. Now, I just gave you the whole spoiler, but not really. If you have not heard, this was the 152nd running of the Kentucky Derby last Saturday. Golden Tempo was doing not great. He was in dead last place with something like 19 horses, okay? Dead last. As they come around the turn towards the finish line, Golden Tempo started running and running some more. And he started clicking off all those different horses that were in front of him until you started getting up near the end, and Golden Tempo is right there in it at the end. Well, Golden Tempo ended up winning the Kentucky Derby, last to first. Just proof you don't ever give up until you cross that finish line. Now, that's enough for a great movie, but there's more. The guy who was riding Golden Tempo His last name is Ortiz. The guy who finished second, his name was Ortiz. Neither one of them had ever won a Kentucky Derby. They're brothers. The guy who came from last to first passed his brother near the finish line and won the race. The first person to congratulate him was his brother. Again, that's enough for a great movie. But there's more. In 152 years of the Kentucky Derby, well, 151 years of the Kentucky Derby, there had never been a woman who won the Kentucky Derby as a trainer of a horse. That was until Golden Tempo, the horse that came from last to first, whose brother passed his brother at the end to win the race. The trainer of Golden Tempo is named Cherie DeVoe. She's a lady. So if you haven't watched the Kentucky Derby, find some place to watch it, because there was so much magic and happiness and amazement and just overcoming the human spirit that went into that race. You just got to see it, because when things like that happens, it kind of makes you realize those idiots that just tried to spend $1 billion of our money, they don't matter. They're going to be long forgotten before too much longer. They'll be part of the shit stain on history. However, Golden Tempo, the Ortiz brothers, and Cherie DeVoe, they all made history. They'll always be remembered. All right, listen, y'all have a great weekend. Tomorrow, if you're around Raven County, please come down to the Raven County Pavilions. We're having our 5th annual spring marketplace and would love to see you. Got some really cool stuff for you, so come see us. If you're not in Raven County, well, have a good weekend. Listen, it's Mother's Day, Sunday. Okay, listen to me. Some of us would give our right arm to be able to call, hug, anything with our mother on Mother's Day. So those of you who can still do it, please, for me and for a lot of other people, wish your mother a happy Mother's Day. Hug her, love her, let her know how much she's appreciated. Because I promise you, one day, you'd love to have the opportunity to do it just one more time. You'll have a great weekend. I love you so much. We'll see you next week. Bye.